It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Detroit Pistons going up against the Indiana Pacers. Taking a look at the Pacers, they need some wins to start adding up here in a hurry. More or less half the season behind us, and they are still struggling to prove they can contend. And here we go, toe-to-toe, two of the most formidable front courts in the NBA. Shaq, tonight, how do you see this battle of the bigs being played out?
Well, it's not checkers. It'll definitely be a chess match in the terms of rotations, substitutions. Each team will try to establish itself very, very early.
I thought maybe it'd be a lot more physical than a chess match.
Oh, chess can be physical. You didn't watch Bobby Fischer? He's still missing.
Well, stretch bigs will try to put shot blockers, away from the basket. And then when you get those shot blockers away, you get drives to the rim. So the power bigs, they try to throw their weight around on the blocks, but overall, the stretch bigs separate the floor.
I think it's time to tip this thing off. Kevin Harlan has the call. We'll see you later.
We are live from the Motor City. Welcome to Detroit and an Eastern Conference contest for the Pistons. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. DA will join us tonight on the sideline. The Pacers will play just this one game on the road before returning back to Indiana. They haven't had the year to this point they were hoping for, and it may be tough, guys, to right the ship for them.
And they've yet to come up with the win in any of their 3 games against these guys. So I guess one positive for them is that no matter what happens tonight, it's the last time they'll face them on the season.
Yeah, I would say that's one way to frame it. It's been a tough matchup, but this league is all about competition and stretching yourself, challenging yourself. They've got redemption on their mind as they enter this one.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Well, guys, Stan Van Gundy has coached the likes of Alonzo Mourning, Shaquille O'Neal, and Dwight Howard. But he said, as a rebounder, Andre Drummond is as good as anybody, if not the best that I've ever been around. He just goes out and gets the ball. Drummond said, it's just a will. The will to get the ball most people won't jump for. I just put myself out there. Kevin?
Thanks, D.A. And Drummond is just a hulk of a man. He's really the backbone of this team. There is no shortage of athleticism in this one tonight, Clark. Both these teams just incredibly athletic on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I agree with you there, partner. They cover so much ground, and they cover it quickly because of the length and speed they have as teams. Excellent length on both sides of the ball in this one, and they play to their strengths, and that's length and athleticism.
Boys, nice line.
And it's the Pistons to start out. Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. Collison and Oladipo pair at the 1 and the 2. Young and Turner up front. And it's Bogdanovich in at the 3.
He's just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
There's the steal. Young with the steal. Here's Collison. It's Young on the wing. Turner with the screen. And Young kicks to Turner. Gets a very good look and converts.
Boy, and Turner's really good at picking the defense apart, especially with the catch-and-shoot jumper.
Out to the right wing. Griffin against Young. Griffin passes to Jackson. Outside for Griffin. 6 on the shot clock. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson.
Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting calls, and for good reason.
Well, Greg, they can count on him to get buckets. He's getting the ball because he's very efficient when he has it.
Now here's Collison, and he comes up with the deuce.
Sensing the opportunity there, Collison sneaking inside for the finish.
First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. Drummond with a screen on Collison. Jackson dishes to Drummond. Johnson wide open. He fires. And it's Drummond missing.
Loved how they guarded that layup. Didn't make it easy, which I think is why he missed it.
Collison kicks to Turner. Outside Bogdanovich. Young. And Griffin sends it back. And it's out of bounds, and they say last touch by Griffin.
And let's quickly take a look at the stats for Thaddeus Young. He's been in good form here the last few weeks. He's putting up 9 points a game, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. And his rebounding is what's most impressive. He's shown tremendous determination on the backboard.
And it's a big asset for this team. I mean, he blocks out on the defensive glass, and then he keeps balls alive at the offensive end.
Collison, no good. For Detroit, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Shoots from 14. Kicks it out to Johnson. Tries again. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. Johnson's got his first 2 points of the night.
Like that execution, Kevin. A successful possession leading to a high percentage basket.
First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. They set the pick. Shot off the screen. A nice shot by Collison.
And Collison has a nice stroke, a quirky release, but never going to pass up the mid-range jumper when it's there for him.
Galloway kicks to Griffin. Drummond the screen. Back to Griffin. Beyond the arc. Offensive rebound. And that one's good. Drummond.
Boy, I like the activity of Drummond on the glass. I mean, he's so big and active. Excellent timing and hands. Always pounding and grinding for offensive rebounds.
Now, here's Bogdanovich. We saw him with 10 points last game. Here's Oladipo. Rebound by the Pistons. Drummond's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Collison against Jackson. And it's sent back by Turner.
Oh, these arms of Turner just go on forever. I mean, which is part of the reason he's able to rack up the block shots that he does.
Now here's Collison. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Brooklyn. Here's Oladipo. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And Oladipo has some parts of his game that needs work, but he is certainly terrific on the big finish.
Yeah, I mean, he's got longer arms than you would think for a player of his size, and the overall physical skill set, there's no doubt about it. You know, you look at his ability to just stay floating in the air for that extra moment when he's in attack mode, and this is a young man that still has his best basketball ahead of him.
That's good from Oladipo.
And, you know, Oladipo is one of those multifaceted players. I mean, he can do just about anything you ask of him when he's on the court.
Oladipo hits them both. And a big front office change for the Pacers over the summer. Cause for concern?
No, I don't think so, Kevin. Very experienced hands are taking over, and I think it'll be a relatively smooth transition for the Pacers.
Johnson the screen. Galloway kicks to Griffin. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. That's 7 points for Blake Griffin. Pacers trail by 3. Collison kicks to Oladipo. Screen by Young. Lets a floater go. It's Drummond with the rebound. And for Detroit, they come in off a good outing against New York.
You know what? It's a fine line between attacking but yet staying under control. And they did, and that's why they shot such a high percentage.
Yeah, they pushed the pace, and typically you get high-quality shots when you do that. I thought they were terrific all game, Greg.
And stolen by Drummond. Griffin against Young. And then Griffin with the dunk.
You've got to plug up these lanes to the basket, especially when Griffin is slashing with force.
Collison, the pass to Young. Back to Collison. And the Pacers can't get it to go. Pistons leading by 5. It's Jackson with the drive. Here's Galloway. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And Indiana called for the foul. Detroit shooting their first free throws of this game. That free throw good from Galloway.
And one thing that you can say about this Pistons team is they are fundamentally sound, strong on the glass and closing out possessions, and they really don't make a lot of mistakes.
And so he makes both from the line. Greg, with the Pistons and their discipline as a team, part of their great rebounding means they allow very few second chance points, one of the fewest allowed in the league last season.
And couple that with how strong they've been at taking care of the basketball. Low turnover numbers as well as points allowed off of those turnovers. And with that rebounding, I think it makes for very measured basketball.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it.
Here's a chance to take a look at the Pistons and how they rank in the NBA right now.
And you go back to their ranking in opponents' points per game. Teams just can't seem to put runs together against them. You get a bucket here, a bucket there, but that defense, it just wears on you.
Now here's Collison. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. Jackson dishes to Johnson. To the paint. Griffin kicks to Johnson. Outside Jackson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. And Griffin with the score. The assist by Jackson. Griffin's got 12.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
So timeout called here, the first for Indiana. Last time they met was in Indiana.
It really a resounding loss the last time they matched up. They got absolutely manhandled on the boards.
And Greg, you know how it is. At some point, you just got to man up and play with a lot more aggressiveness and toughness and pride inside.
And a different look here for the Pistons. Lewis checked in for Drummond. James Ennis comes in for Johnson. Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for Langston Galloway. And it's Ish Smith in for Reggie Jackson. Indiana also making some changes. Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for Bogdanovich. And Robinson III comes in for Victor Oladipo. And it's Joseph in for Darren Collison. Joseph against Smith. He dishes it to Lure. Stolen by Joseph. Thaddeus Young on the wing. Over Ennis. Young's shot is off.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
And we know just how important a player who can catch and shoot is to an offense. Clark, which players in the league are the best, in your opinion, in that regard?
I think you got to start with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, two of the very best, if not the best, shot makers we've ever seen in the league. The way they can catch and shoot it from deep, challenged, open shots, off the dribble, off the catch. Their shot-making ability is absolutely remarkable. J.J. Redick is a guy that can make shots as well, but those two guys, I think, are in a class by themselves.
The first free throw is good.
And when you look at what the Pistons have done, pretty clear this is a team that has a vision of who they want to be. Strong defensively, really good at rebounding the basketball, and I think deliberate and patient on the offensive side of the floor.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Sabonis, he's checked in for Turner, and Lance Stevenson subbed in for Young. And with the Pistons, this has been the identity the team has been aiming for under Stan Van Gundy. It's taken shape, but has yet, Greg, to produce big results.
I think it's because they've just always been one or two pieces short of making that next jump. I think the conference has gotten stronger, and while their best players are really good, I don't think they're quite at that elite level yet to allow this group to take that next step.
It's deflected. Stevenson outside. In the corner, it's Robinson. Back to Stevenson, and that'll be Indiana as it goes out of bounds. Pacers retain possession. Rob. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Clearly in great rhythm. They've got it going on. I mean, in a big way. Excellent job at establishing a huge lead early on.
And here are the Pacers now, following the bucket by the Pistons. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense.
One shot.
What do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for Detroit?
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
And Joseph kicks to Robinson. Off the pick. And that one hits back iron. Pistons leading by 11. Smith the pass to Ennis. Over to the left wing. And another three for Detroit.
And off to an incredible start here early from long range.
Lighting it up from outside. Hard to keep up with this.
Booker outside. Robinson against Griffin. It's tipped. And here we go. The Pistons fast break. Here's Lure. And a miss there on the triple.
He just never looks comfortable when he's that far away from the basket.
Got a hand on it. For the finish. And finished off by Griffin.
Man, one for the highlight reel. And you see after multiple knee surgeries, Griffin can still get up.
And that was Under Armour bringing you that replay. Unleash chaos. And what a play it was. Now here's Stevenson. Looking for his first basket still in this one.
And really, as recently as 2014, the Pacers were a team with that old school front court. Some tall timber inside, and they played that slow, methodical pace. They have revamped the roster, looking to space the floor and really fire it up on offense.
And so he hits the technical free throw. And the Pacers now looking to revamp how they approach things. The rebuild is on, it would appear.
Yeah, and a good time to do it when they saw Paul George would be leaving. Won't be easy to make the transition, but the Pacers do have a good collection of young talent.
Detroit making a switch here. Tolliver's checked in. 4 on the shot clock. He took good advantage of that screen. Robinson's got his first basket of the night.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued.
Smith dishes to Ennis. Back to Smith. There's a good screen. And it goes out of bounds. That one is off Smith. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Pacers.
And the one thing that jumps out at me when you look at that shot chart is just how little scoring they get from out above the free throw line extended three-point range. They've got to get more points from out high if they want to improve their offense.
Pacers trail by 13. Stevenson outside. Over Ennis. And too long on the shot. Detroit's gone 3 of 6, 50% from deep so far tonight. And Ennis slams it in.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Tone setting, that's what I call it. Grabbing this one by the throat early on and then squeezing it hard.
Now here is Robinson. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. On the wing, Stevenson. Pass to Robinson. There's the triple. And no good. And it's Detroit the other way.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Got that bucket in no time at all. And the Pistons lead by 17.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
And Joseph kicks to Booker. Here's Robinson. And the shot no good, a bit short.
I tell you what, the way he's been going this quarter, guys, they're going to need somebody else to pick up the slack.
And it's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here. Here we get a moment now to view the league's stingiest defenses. In fourth, the Pistons.
This is a team that takes pride on the defensive side of the floor. I mean, they play hard and they play together. They are a tough group to score on.
And the Pistons with possession here. They lead by 17. Smith for three. The shot that time not on target.
Boy, I'm surprised he couldn't put that away. I mean, the defense clearly botched an assignment, leaving him open.
Robinson misses.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Smith the pass to Tolliver. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
Let's see where the Pacers are, Kevin, in terms of the NBA rankings right now.
And like you said, they're up there in points off turnovers. They apply pressure, always ready to pounce on a mistake and take advantage.
Pacers trail by 17. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
That's tipped. Smith dishes to Tolliver. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got 3 assists now in this one. Indiana's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Pass to Stevenson. Stevenson setting the pick for Robinson. With the floater. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. First trip to the line for him here.
An 80% shooter. The work he's done at the line this season, one word, solid.
We've seen some obvious improvement in his free throw shooting since last year.
Two shots.
No good on the free throw. And he's good on the second. Pistons leading by 18. Here's Bullock. Screen by Smith. Bullock kicks to Tolliver. 3 seconds left. The shot will not fall. And so it's the Detroit Pistons with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And Blake Griffin grew up playing the game alongside his older brother. His dad was his coach, and he credits his brother for inspiring him to work at his craft.
You know, watching him kind of go through the process of he started to get, recruited by college coaches, and then he, really took his game and became serious about it. And I watched his work ethic, and I watched how he, put the time in, the things he did, and that's kind of where I developed mine.
Well, talking about taking the right course, we know that the older brother of Blake Griffin, 3 years older, he played, as did Blake, for their dad Tommy in high school, and they were terrific high school players. and 4-time state champions.
I mean, it always helps to have a big brother who's kind of been there and done that and can share those experiences with you. Doesn't hurt to have a dad also who's a pro player either, and also a college coach.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And Stephen Clark, Pistons pretty much in control here.
I mean, an interesting first quarter. The pressure D seems to be causing a lot of turnovers.
Just jumped all over him, Greg. I mean, pounced on him, using their length and quickness to come away with those steals.
Ish Smith is out there with Reggie Bullock. Then it's Ennis. Then it's John Lure. And it's Tolliver in at the 4 slot. That's the group for Detroit right now.
And, you know, with Nate McMillan taking over the Pacers last season, their offense was much improved. He had a good stint as a head coach in both Seattle and Portland, but there was some slippage defensively with the Pacers, and now it's about striking the right balance between offensive prowess and defensive improvement.
That one drops for him. Tolliver's got his second bucket tonight.
Boy, I like watching him get after it on the glass now, staying active, and usually that leads to good things.
Shoots off the screen. Shot by Joseph, no good. And the Pacers, Clark, looking to up the pace. In some ways, that made McMillan a surprising choice. His teams in Portland, for instance, some of the slowest in the league.
Well, their pace actually went down some, Kevin. McMillan is accustomed to going small with shooting big men, and that certainly fits.
And a fast break now for the Pacers. Robinson leading the charge.
I like his tenacity getting to the basket there, even though the dunk rattled out. 99 times out of 100, you'll get the dunk or the foul.
Stevenson passes to Booker. Inside, Sabonis. And Booker kicks to Sabonis. Outside for Robinson. Back to Stevenson. Second chance shot. It's good. Stevenson's got his first points of the night.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. Clark, in your rookie season in the NBA, did you ever have a welcome to the NBA moment? You know, a play or a sequence where you were brutally introduced to how unforgiving the NBA can truly be?
Yeah, how about my first night out? Spencer Haywood ran me in circles, and I shot 2 for 17, scored 6 or 8 points, and he was in my head from the very beginning. Thankfully, the Pacers won that game because it was a forgettable night other than that. But Spencer Haywood, even to this day, when I bump into him, reminds me of how he disrupted me and distracted me in that first game of my rookie season.
Shot clock at 2. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Miles Turner. The Pistons have looked good at the line tonight. They're perfect in 4 attempts.
And taking a look at the numbers on the season, they've converted about 77% of those foul shots.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
That free throw, no good. So neither attempt will fall that time for him. Pacers trail by 14. Stolen by Jackson. And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. Ready by Bogdanovich.
Now that's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
Now Jackson. Darren Collison missing from long range. Jackson dishes to Drummond. Launches it. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
No excuse for that kind of defense. I'm positive they're upset about that.
For Indiana, they've gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. Young with the ball. He's picked up by Drummond. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. And here we go. The Pistons fast break. And Jackson gets it to go. And the Pistons lead by 19.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Now Jackson. After Bogdanovich missing on that last three-pointer. Back to Jackson. He feeds it to Drummond. Kicks it to Jackson. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Galloway. Good defensive work there by Young.
Well, he mistimed it just a skosh. Don't think the defense really had an impact. I think he just flat out missed it.
Here's Collison. Turner with a screen on Jackson. Baseline jumper.
And you know what? He's just not on his game. No doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
It's good.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Collison kicks to Oladipo. Bogdanovich against Johnson, and it's sent back by Drummond.
Drummond mixes defensive smarts with elite physical tools, and that's what makes him a solid defender. He's going to get his hands on a few shots each and every game.
So he gets the whistle, contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. And you see Bogdanovich, 6'8" at times, listed at shooting guard. GA, is he a 2?
No, if anything, I think he's often better defending power forwards than he is against the wings, in part because you're not going to look to post that position in the way the game is played today. This guy is skilled and tough, but doesn't have the great foot speed defensively, so I think that's to his advantage to guard those guys.
First free throw is good. And we just had one of the closer MVP races in recent memory. Clark, do you define the MVP as a player with the most impressive stats, or the best player on the best team, or somewhere in between?
Kevin, to me, the MVP is an individual award. Clearly, we play a team game in the NBA, and a team's performance is part of that, but it's a small part of it to me. An MVP performance is one that not only has consistent high-level statistical production, influences winning at a good rate, but also stands out in the magnitude of the moments this player has over the course of the season. Those 2 things drive the needle for me as an MVP voter, if I had such a vote.
And the Pacers call time here, coming off that loss against the Nets.
Yeah, they just got ambushed, not really expecting the comeback, and I mean, it came on quick and strong, but I think it could be a good lesson for them moving forward.
And now we go to the 2K leaderboard. What a season it's been for these teams on the offensive glass. 5th on the list, the Pistons.
One of the better rebounding teams in the league, especially on the offensive end. They never take that for granted in terms of whether the shot's going in.
And so it's Indiana with it. And stolen by Drummond. Jackson passes to Drummond. And it's Drummond with the jam.
And, you know, Drummond has no problem playing through contact. He's accustomed to being roughed up on his way to the basket. He excels at using that strong body of his to fight through contact and finish.
Here is Collison after the basket by Detroit. Over Johnson. Collison, no good.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
The tenacity, the attention to detail, it's why these guys are in complete control.
And you know what, Greg? They are crushing it on both ends. I mean, in total control right now.
Shots good by Turner.
Man, nice job by Turner to maintain his concentration despite the hand in his face.
Pass to Johnson. Drummond a screen. Johnson kicks to Griffin. Griffin draws the double. 5 to shoot. Here's Galloway. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. Turner's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Here's Collison. The teardrop falls in. Collison's got 6.
And Collison's quickness enabling him to slice to the rim there.
Jackson dishes to Johnson. Back to Jackson. Outside Griffin. Pistons passing it around. Turner with the steal. Oladipo left side. Bogdanovich wide open. Off target from three-point range. Pistons leading by 21. To the left wing. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to go on Bojan Bogdanovich. And Paul George traded away by the Pacers over the summer. A move they didn't want to make, but the writing was on the wall.
You know what? It's always hard, Kevin, to lose a superstar player, but the Pacers had really been unable to create a contender around Paul George, and therefore they had to trade him because they didn't think he was going to sign. As a matter of fact, he clearly stated he would not re-sign at the end of his contract with the Pacers. So traded to OKC, and Paul George still intrigued by the possibility of maybe playing for his hometown Lakers at the end of his contract.
And he makes the first. We always talk about what a good shot is from time to time. Clark, how would you define a good shot in the context of an offensive possession set?
To me, Kevin, a good shot is a shot that a guy can make 60 to 80% of the time when he takes it. Whether that's a three-point shot, your post-up moves, your mid-range jump shots, those are quality shots. And then the other piece of it is you don't want to take a lot of contested shots. You can make them as a pro, but good shots are shots you can make 60 to 80% of the time, and usually that means you're getting open shots versus contested shots.
Galloway, the pass to Griffin. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. Galloway has got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Collison kicks to Bogdanovich. Turner with a screen on Johnson. The kick out to Collison. Young sets a screen for Collison. Young outside. And so the ball out of bounds. Collison touched it last. And as always, the mid part of the NBA season, quite a grueling part of the schedule. Right now, let's check out how the standings are shaping up in the East. You look at Detroit. They're 4th in the conference and looking to make a move the latter part of the season. And checking out Indiana, not really any threat right now as their record showing a lot more losses.
And right now for the Pistons, they were a team that no one knew quite what to make of entering the season. But as the years gone on, it's become clear they're legit contenders.
Abundantly clear. I mean, they can compete with any team in the league, and I think they still have some upside, room for improvement.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. The last season for Reggie Jackson, he just couldn't get back to full strength. Missed a lot of time, Greg, as you know, with that injury to start the year. And even when he returned, his legs wouldn't cooperate and give him his usual burst and acceleration.
Yeah, and you can see it in Jackson's performance and really the numbers. Steep drop in production from what he had been putting up, and very dependent on his burst. So hopefully he can avoid any leg troubles moving forward.
And a look here at the shot chart for Griffin.
And really what jumps out to me about this shot chart is just how aggressive he's been when on the floor. I mean, he's doing everything he can to get as close to the hoop as possible before putting up that shot, and it's worked out in a big way for him and his team.
Now, here's Oladipo. Defense right on him. Stevenson takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
Outstanding anticipation that time from Oladipo, seeing the floor extremely well and then zipping the pass over to the open man.
Drummond with a screen on Collison. Jackson drives in, and so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Pistons have shot 75% at the stripe, 6 of 8. And the first one at the line is good.
And Jackson certainly doesn't lack confidence. A speedy guard who can fill it up in no time.
And so Jackson nails both of them. Indiana's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Jackson against Young. Detroit with the rebound. When this game is done, they'll be off to Orlando and they'll take on the Magic. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. Here's Drummond, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And watching Andre Drummond play, he's really just an old school type center. I mean, he eats up space in the middle and finishes plays in close. Not a skilled guy who can pull a defender away from the basket.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
The first one falls. And with Drummond, he does play like towering centers of decades past.
Yeah, I mean, he isn't great at moving the ball around or hitting shots from range, but his size and athleticism are elite and one of the best rebounders in our game.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Ennis, he's checked in for Johnson. Reggie Bullock comes in for Langston Galloway, and it's Ish Smith in for Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know if any big man has the combination of strength, speed, and hops that Drummond has, not to mention his length, an unreal physical specimen. You know, he's had better starts, obviously, but he's shaking it off here in the second.
Smith dishes to Drummond. The feed to Ennis. Right through the D for the layup. Ennis has got his second basket. Here's Joseph. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Brooklyn. Stevenson outside. Joseph with a screen on Smith. Knocked loose. Outside Griffin. Smith outside. There's the triple. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession. Let's take a peek now here at the league leaders in rebounding. Second, Andre Drummond.
And you can't win games without rebounding the basketball. That's what has made him such an important part of what they do.
Indiana's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Joseph, the pass to Sabonis, and he slams it one-handed.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
And guys, I like the fact that he chose the one-hand tomahawk slam, because you get a little higher when you go off one hand and 1 foot.
And Indiana shooting only 32% from the field. Plenty of signs of struggle by this offense today. Robinson goes in. Got a piece of it. Smith with it. 11 points for him in that last game against New York. Here's Bullock. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Smith's got 4 assists now tonight. Now the pass to Robinson. Robinson sets a screen for Stevenson. Rebound by the Pistons. Drummond's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Here's Bullock. 7-foot shot. Here's Griffin. The shot off that time. Good D by Booker. And Indiana shooting at just about an even 40% from the field for the second quarter. Detroit's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Here's Ennis. Goes right through for bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
What a find by Griffin. He's a lot more skilled as a passer than he gets credit for as far as power forwards go. He has terrific vision.
Now here's Stevenson. Over Ennis. Another miss by Stevenson. And so it's the Detroit Pistons leading by a full 31 points at the end of the quarter. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Stan Van Gundy. Coach, a very good first half for you guys. How do you assess the game so far?
I thought our energy was good, our ball movement was good, and it always looks good if the ball goes in and guys are making shots.
That's the name of the game, right, Coach? Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what an amazing performance the hometown fans are witnessing here tonight. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. Some incredible work in this one by Blake Griffin. He had 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 block. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
I love the way they're getting after it in the paint. Moving bodies, attacking the rim, scoring at will. Sometimes teams try to hurt you with the 3-ball. They went right for the heart of the defense. Look at them to keep pounding it inside and staying physical.
Shaq, your take on Indiana.
Their field goal percentage reminds me of Kenny's breath. Brutal. Not reading the defense, not getting enough quality looks. They need to make major changes because the system they ran in the first half was not working.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We'll see you later.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You look at Blake Griffin in this game. He's been everywhere.
And I'll tell you, his work on the blocks in that first half, really impressive.
Yeah, he squatted on that paint area and owned it, perfectly using his size and that soft touch inside. That's a heck of a combination. Strength, size, and soft touch. Nice.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the court for Indiana, Young and Turner up front. Collison and Oladipo pair at the 1 and the 2. And it's Bogdanovich in at the small forward position. Now here's Griffin. Thaddeus Young missing his last shot. In the corner, it's Galloway. Over Oladipo. The offensive rebound. Drummond. Jackson from long range. Drops in the tray. Jackson's got the first bucket of the third here for Detroit.
Tell you what, it does not matter who's shooting. The defense has got to be better at getting a hand up on long-range shooters. You've got to challenge the shot.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Boy, like his intensity, Greg. He's not afraid to take it straight to the rack on the bigger defender. Right at it.
Griffin kicks to Jackson. Johnson outside. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Miles Turner. The Pistons have been shooting right around 75% at the line. 9 of 12 so far.
Two shots.
First free throw is good. And both free throws good for Johnson. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. Collison kicks to Oladipo. And it's Bogdanovich off the drive. He got right to the cup using that screen.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Shooting one.
Free throw good, Bogdanovich.
And, you know, Bojan Bogdanovic, not an elite athlete by NBA standards, but he's a live weapon because he can really shoot the ball and put it on the floor.
Now here's Jackson. He's got 9. Griffin. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. One of the most impressive things about Blake Griffin is, Greg, when he gets out and runs the open floor.
Yeah, not to mention his ability to run the break himself. A terrific ball handler, even under pressure, and one of the best passers at the 4 in the league, if not the best.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops.
And Blake Griffin is just an incredible athlete, explosive and great balance and mobility, powerful. A big guy who can flat out throw it down, and he also can pass it too.
Sabonis, he's checked in for Indiana. He's off on the second.
And Thaddeus Young he's got a unique offensive skill set. I mean, he really is able to score over bigger players with just an array of little hooks and floaters and off-balance shots in the lane.
And I tell you, Oladipo really putting defenders in a tough spot. I mean, using his length outstandingly to draw these fouls.
He's off on the first. And Greg, at about 6'8", what is it that enables Young to finish so well inside?
I think it's more finesse than power. Not a lot of free throws for him, but he can get his shot off quickly before the shot blockers have time to gather.
Good on the second free throw. Detroit's gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. They're 6 of 13. Galloway dishes to Drummond. He kicks it to Johnson. Drummond a screen. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, not a lot of effort put forth on defense there. I mean, I think he's definitely got to play up on him more and off the screen in that situation.
One shot.
That's all you. Get in there.
And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Collison against Jackson. Step back shot. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got 14 rebounds for him tonight. Wow. Now here's Johnson. 12 points for him. Outside Griffin. Lets it go. That one wide left.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Here's Collison. And he gets it to go from the corner. Collison's got 10.
And Collison, I think, is at his best when he's shooting the ball from a set position. More of a set shooter than a guy who shoots it well on the move.
Now here's Johnson. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. And here's the fast break. Oladipo leading the way. Outside Bogdanovich. Young sets a screen for Bogdanovich. Knocks it loose. And so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here. A different look here for Detroit. Luer comes in for Andre Drummond. And it's Tolliver in for Blake Griffin.
Hey, yo, Collison.
Here's Collison. He's got 10. Just 4 to shoot. Over Jackson. Collison with another miss. For Detroit, they've gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Here's Galloway. Count that bucket. He's got 9.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wynn.
I could not say it any better, showing you some real focus, taking it inside against the bigger man.
Now, here is Young, looking for his first basket still in this one. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
You really have to respect the mid-range game of Young. I mean, he hits it just enough to keep you honest.
Here's Galloway. 9 points in the game so far. Tolliver in the post. Young's there. It's rebounded by Indiana. And the call will go against Anthony Tolliver. That is his first foul of the game. For Indiana, they've gone 4 of 7 to get things started here in the second half. Here's Collison. He can't get that one. Some solid defense there from Jackson. Dishes to Johnson. Takes the 3. Sabonis grabs the board. Sabonis has got 6 rebounds in the game. Collison kicks to Bogdanovich. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison. Bogdanovich has got 8.
Really good work off the screen there. You know, Bogdanovich creating that space to get his shot off. Nicely done.
Johnson the screen. Back to Galloway. And he gets the bucket. 11 points in the game.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Well, the defensive rotations, Greg, have been a step slow, and it's really helped them get that ball inside time after time.
Bogdanovich, no luck. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Feeds to Tolliver. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
A 3-pointer is right on target. And 11 points for Bojan Bogdanovich.
And you let Bogdanovich just catch and shoot like that, he'll make more than he misses of those.
Luer the screen. Jackson kicks to Johnson. Luer a screen on Bogdanovich. Johnson attacking. Sabonis grabs the board.
Well executed. Great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Agree with you there, partner, because that screen really freed him up nicely, and that's a shot that if you're a pro, you need to make that one.
So for the Pistons, Ennis, he's checked in for Stanley Johnson. Reggie Bullock comes in for Langston Galloway, and Smith subbed in for Jackson. Indiana also making some changes. Booker, he's checked in for Young. Robinson comes in for Oladipo. And it's Joseph in for Darren Collison.
Yeah, he's got to make some adjustments here. Just too easy to score in the lane against them right now.
Yeah, there's no reason why they should be scoring at will down there easily as they have. I mean, they've got to be more aggressive inside.
Now here's Booker. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And Trevor Booker last season with the best rebounding numbers of his career.
Well, you know, Kevin, that can happen when you play alongside Brook Lopez because he's a good box-out guy, but more than that, He's 7 feet tall and about 270 pounds and takes up a lot of space. Now that Lopez is gone, we'll see how Booker's rebounding numbers respond.
And that one misses.
And Trevor Booker is generously listed at 6'8". We call that a program height. But he is a quick leaper, so he plays bigger than he is. You let him get in close, and he'll punch that ticket on you.
He hits the second from the line. Clark, as good as Booker is around the rim, he's looking to stretch his range out beyond the arc.
And that's a wise move for him as a player. Expand your range because you've shown you can make that shot, and I think that just makes him more valuable on offense.
Indiana's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Robinson, and he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. And there's the foul against Detroit. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Pistons.
They really haven't backed away from running and gunning at any point, but their legs still look fresh.
Something that's also benefited them tonight are the turnovers they've forced and the points that have come along with those forced turnovers.
He hits both from the stripe. The Pistons have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the third quarter got underway. Ennis passes to Bullock. He can't get that one to fall. Good D by Booker. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Bullock, good.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Now here is Robinson. He's got 7. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Robinson's got 9.
Now how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Smith kicks to Lure, and finished off by Lure.
That's how you pass the pumpkin. I mean, Smith really keeps his head on the swivel to get that ball over to his open teammates.
For Indiana, they've gone 7 of 13 in the third quarter so far, just above 50%. Bogdanovich with it, now guarded by Ennis. And it's Bogdanovich off the drive. The shot will not fall. And Detroit the other way now. And the foul called on Bojan Bogdanovich. That's foul number 2 for him. And some changes here for the Pacers. Miles Turner comes in for Sabonis. And Lance Stevenson subbed in for Bogdanovich. Detroit's gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Now here's Ennis. He's guarded by Stevenson. Here's Lure. Good work defensively by Turner. And Reggie Bullock gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
And that one falls for Robinson. Robinson hits them both. Now Smith. They set the screen. The dish to Ennis, stolen by Robinson. Smith on the wing. He's covered by Joseph. Stolen by Stevenson. Robinson dishes to Joseph. And that one is good. Joseph's got 10 points in the game. The Pistons shooting around 44% in this third quarter. Smith kicks to Tolliver. lure the screen. Right wing. Just 5 to shoot. Ennis. And again, it's the Pistons missing. The Pacers have gone better than 53% from the floor since halftime. Shooting 8 of 15. Robinson, that's good.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. Those three-point bombs will erase the deficit quickly if they can keep it up.
Now here's Ennis. He's got 6. Tolliver for 3. It's rebounded by Stevenson.
His shot's just, it's not there right now. With his team leading, perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game. Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
Indiana's gotten the 3-ball working for them in the second half. They've hit 3 out of 3 shots from long range. Top of the key, Booker. Outside, Robinson. He dishes it to Turner. From deep. And it's Robinson again missing. Detroit leading by 22. Smith the pass to Bullock. Tries to snap the cold streak. Buries it down low. Bullock's got 4 points this quarter. .157 left in the third. Pacers shooting 47% since getting things started in the third quarter. There's a screen by Robinson. No good from Booker. Detroit's gone into a slump here from 3-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was 1 step late that time, Greg.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on that one.
Boy, and at only 6 feet tall, Smith uses that blazing speed of his to keep defenses off balance. Good luck trying to stay in front of him.
Drummond's checked in for Detroit. Blake Griffin comes in for Anthony Tolliver. And he's good on the second. A challenging stretch here for Indiana. And Joseph kicks to Booker. Turner with the screen. Booker inside. Defended by Griffin. No good from Booker. Pistons shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. There's the pick. In the corner, it's Griffin. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. And that's now 24 points for Blake Griffin.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
As well he should, Greg. I mean, he always is looking to score the ball, even more so when he's hot. I like the mindset.
Here's Booker. Again, the miss by Booker. Detroit's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from 3-point land in the second half. Here's Bullock. And it goes for the 5th time and 10 shots for him this game.
And it's been about that execution offensively. I mean, they have been superb.
Yeah, and the ball moves faster than anybody's can, so that great ball movement and decision making, they're making all the right moves, Greg.
So it's the Pacers now, following the bucket by the Pistons. 5 to shoot. Stevenson dishes to Booker. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Just cannot find the rhythm. Still yet to hit a shot this quarter.
Bullock kicks to Griffin, and stolen by Booker, and that one drops. And that's now 26 points for Blake Griffin.
It was all about his athleticism when Griffin first came into the league, but it didn't take long to see he was about a lot more than that. He's got serious skills down low.
And so is Detroit, out there all by themselves with a 32-point lead to end the quarter. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. And we'll be back with you shortly. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. The Pistons on offense. They've got Nelson. He's out there with Reggie Bullock. Ellenson is out there with Ennis. And it's Moreland in at the power forward. That's the group for Detroit right now. They set the pick. Pass to Ennis. Here's the three. It's rebounded by Indiana. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Shots good from Young. And, well, Detroit shooting it pretty well, close to 50%. Nelson, the pass to Bullock. He feeds it to Ellenson. It's stolen by Jefferson. Here's Leaf. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
And, you know, Jefferson is a skilled big man, knows how to spread the floor with his passing ability.
60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. Ennis kicks to Moreland. It's good. The assist that time from Ennis.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Greg, the play in the paint has gone almost entirely all their way.
Turner up top. And Young kicks to Jefferson. And the shot goes in.
And this is where Jefferson makes his living, right inside. Really good at creating down low.
Here's Bullock. Passes it to Ellenson. Kicks it to Bullock. Top of the key, Ellenson. Shot clock at 3. Here's Moreland. Good work defensively by Turner. Pacers have gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the fourth quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. Young against Nelson. Young's shot is off. For Detroit, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Nelson, no luck.
And there was no effort on behalf of the defense. None. I mean, the shooter has to be upset with himself for missing that shot.
Shoots over Ellenson. It's rebounded by Moreland. Now here's Ennis. He's tightly guarded. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Clark, when we talk about the importance of what a player can do, how important is it for a player to know what they cannot do?
Very important. Understanding who you are and what your skill set is and how that fits with your team, critically important. Not only knowing it, but then embracing your role within your particular limitations, skill set, and teamwork.
And that one misses. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Nelson against Young. And he banks in the layup. Young's got 5 points now this quarter. The Pistons have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Nelson dishes to Ellenson. Five on the clock. Ennis kicks to Moreland, and they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Stanley Johnson, he's checked in for Ennis. For Indiana, they've gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there. There's the pick. Here's Young, and again, it's Indiana.
Thaddeus Young showing you he can also handle the ball in the pick and roll and be effective. Cash money.
Nelson outside. Pass to Moreland. And the NBA has tinkered with the All-Star voting in recent years. Fans no longer get 100% of the say for the starters. Clark, how do you feel about that change?
I
like it. I mean, again, the fans desire to be involved and should have an opportunity to be engaged in the voting because they're so important to the success and popularity of the league. So I like the fans having a piece of the vote. 100% is far too much, so I think the fact that you've got it weighted between fans and those who follow the league closely, along with coaches, is about the right blend to me.
Jefferson, a screen on Nelson. And Young, here we go. It's tipped, and they'll keep possession. And the officials now calling the shooting foul. He got a lot of ball on the block, but also got the body, so some free throws coming up right now. That free throw good from Al Jefferson. And Al Jefferson, a product of Prentice, Mississippi, a big family, and Clark, he grew up playing hoops nonstop.
Yeah, that's how you refine your game. His cousin had a full court in his yard, not asphalt, folks. We're talking about they played on dirt, but they had lights up, so they let them play well into the wee hours of the morning.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
Nelson kicks to Jackson. Nelson against Young. Nelson, the pass to Ellenson. There's the feed to Moreland. And Detroit again with the bucket.
And 10 of their last 12 coming off assists.
The Pacers have gone 7 of 10 shooting the ball since the start of the fourth quarter. And here's Young from the arc. Detroit with the rebound. And here's Nelson. And Clark, when you played the NBA with still mostly American players, now the game is truly global with players from all over the world. How do you think that has changed the NBA?
Well, I think it's enhanced the NBA's product on the floor because, again, you're getting the best players in the world that are competing in the NBA with the international influx. I think it's added to the global popularity of the league without question. The NBA is clear in that we're going far and wide across the globe to find the best players to play in the best league in the world, and I think that's healthy and good.
There's a good screen. Screen by Young. Here's the teardrop, and it's laid up and in by Young.
And all those second chance points have given them a boost here in the second half, and that's a great way to cut into the lead.
Nelson kicks to Jackson. The pass to Ellenson. Pistons passing it around. Near the three-point line, it's Nelson. It's rebounded by Indiana. Young's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Young with no one around. Again, Young missing. For Detroit, they've gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. Nelson against Young. And Jefferson sends it back.
Great seeing Jefferson show us some defense there, Kevin. I mean, with his length, he rejects shots when he jumps and times it right.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Perfect execution. That's how you take advantage of a transition opportunity.
Clark, when you played, you were the classic power forward. Forwards now are asked to do so much in terms of skill set on the floor. Just how much has that forward position changed in the last few decades?
You know, in some ways, Kevin, it's become a little more specialized. I mean, you have wing players now that fall into that small forward category. But guys between 6'6" and 6'10" now are playing on the wing, which means you've got to be able to move your feet and defend. Versatile players at that position. You've got to be able to handle the ball and make plays ideally, get shots, score the ball, and rebound effectively. So that's always been, I thought, the 2 and 3 positions, which are wings now. Those positions are the most demanding in the league in terms of both sides of the ball. The power forward position has become somewhat like that now. because of the size and versatility and skill set of so many of those bigger players. But I think the demands are pretty much the same. The one thing that changed is the fact that you have to play out on the floor more and in space, which means you've got to be a little more athletic if you're going to be part of a small ball lineup.
Detroit leading by 21. Johnson the screen. Nelson dishes to Tolliver. Feeds it to Ellenson. And nothing has fallen for him right now. Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. And it's Bogdanovich off the drive. Great D that time from Johnson. Detroit's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. He kicks it to Nelson. Dishes it to Ellenson. And Clark, the topic of the need for league parity is something that's come up the last few years. Is that necessary for a healthy NBA?
I don't think so, Kevin. I mean, you can have it both ways. You can have tremendous popularity and success when you have a dominant team or 2 or 3. And you can also have it when there's great competitive balance. Currently, we have a circumstance and situation where the league is top heavy in terms of championship contenders. But that won't last forever. And there will be a graduating back to a more competitive balance in time. So I think you enjoy the ride for what it is in the season and seasons that you have, whichever side of that coin you have.
And again, it's the Pistons missing.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
And Bogdanovich kicks to Collison. Turner with the screen. Young passes to Collison. Outside, Bogdanovich. That 3 off the mark.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down. Try to get some easy ones.
Ellenson gets the bucket and the foul. Turner. And so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game. Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for the Pacers. Detroit also making some changes. Drummond's checked in for Nelson. Blake Griffin comes in for Anthony Tolliver. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Jackson.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Clark, we've seen the bench celebration become almost an art form in the NBA over the past few seasons. Are you surprised this is a thing now?
Not at all. Again, when everything is captured and documented and you're going to have creativity and attention-grabbing celebration, so it's just part of the landscape.
Here's Booker, and Griffin sends it back, and he recovers it. Pistons leading by 21. Ellenson dishes to Galloway. Pass to Johnson. Back to Galloway. It's stolen by Oladipo, and the call will be against Langston Galloway. That's foul number 2 for him. For the Pistons, John Lure, he's checked in for Griffin. Reggie Bullock comes in for Stanley Johnson, and it's Ish Smith in for Henry Ellenson. Indiana also making some changes. Sabonis, he's checked in for Young. And Robinson III comes in for Bogdanovich. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Darren Collison. The Pacers making a switch here. Stevenson's checked in. On defense, Detroit. Here's Joseph. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Detroit's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Offensive rebound. Out to Smith. Beyond the arc. That shot off.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
And he's good on the 3-ball.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, And it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Pistons.
Their hard work on the glass paid off.
I tell you what, they're both excellent rebounding teams, and it was a tough battle underneath all game. And I think ultimately that earned the W.
And so they'll stretch their victory total to 19 on the season.
Wow, they finished the season series undefeated. 4 games, 4 wins, really asserting their dominance.
Well, they're going to finish, like you said, 4-0 against them, and you're right, very impressive.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Blake Griffin.
There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
2 shots.
That free throw, no good.
Boy, I love Trevor Booker's game now. Physical, dependable, consistent, and continues to evolve his game.
And the second free throw, good.
Boy, he'd sure like to have that miss back. Hard to chip away at a lead when you're leaving freebies at the line.
Smith outside. There's the dish to Bullock. Over to the left wing.
Two shots, gentlemen. 2. Two shots.
And he makes the first. Galloway hits both of them. 32 seconds left to play in the final quarter. They set the pick. Outside Robinson. And once again off the mark by Indiana. And so the Pistons can now just hold on to the ball. Out left to the wing. Here's Galloway. He dishes it to Smith. And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Blake, very strong game offensively. What gave you the confidence to take over?
I'm just putting in the work, and my teammates honestly believing in me and telling me to be confident at the end of the game. So I owe a lot to them. They came up with big plays. Just everybody working together.
Very good win for you tonight, Blake. Congrats. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us. So long and good night, everyone.